Hello you guys, it's Ruzrain and welcome back to my channel. So glad to have you guys here. And if you're new, hello, join the fam. And if you are not, if you've seen my videos before, you may notice that today's a little bit different. My face is unavailable. So instead, what you've got here is a picture of my sim self standing in front of a snowman that she's built, looking very proud. Just to say. But in today's video, I'm going to be going through a speed build of one of Foxbury University's dorms called Tidal Tower, and speed building through that. Now, looking at the build, there's actually nothing that's fundamentally wrong with it. Like, I think that the build is fine. It looks okay, and I'm saying Maxis could have done this a lot worse, but I just think that I wanted to add my touch into the dorms here. I think that the rooms are really spacious, which I don't think is realistic. At least in my experience, a lot of the dorms that I've stayed in have been pretty cramped, or like, I don't know, certainly not as spacious as this at the very least. And I would think that they would fit more beds or rooms within one floor of the dorm. And I also didn't really like how there was kind of just a lack of character, I think, in the dorm as a whole. So I also fixed up the outside of the building as well as the commons area within the dorm as well. So in a quick little bit, we're gonna go into the speed build. Alright, you guys, so here we are blitzing right into the speed build. I think that this recording took about maybe 3 to 4 hours to record, but that 3 to 4 hours does not include the amount of time that it took to add in clutter into the rooms, okay? So the recording for this video, I think, spanned over 2 nights, so recorded for roughly 3 hours over 2 nights, sounds about right. And this was a pretty interesting one because I'm not personally very comfortable with having to deal with decorating the outside of a build. I'd rather just be focused on decorating the interiors. Don't know what happened to my voice there, but I'm a lot comfortable dealing with interiors of a build, so I was actually very happy to renovate the dorms here. It's more of the type of gameplay that I'm into. I don't want to have to dealing with the outside. Like, does the outside look nice? Like, I don't really care. I just want the inside to look cute and furnished and decorated properly. But like I said in the intro, I didn't really think that there was a major problem with the build. Like, although in terms of functionality, it was okay. I just thought that, for one, it was a bit spacious, which is a little bit strange. It was just this huge box with a couple of furnishings within the room, a couple of beds in the room, and not much character to it, which is fine. That's why builders exist, to renovate stuff in The Sims. But yeah, the floor plan for this was a little bit awkward to figure out, but the plan here was that I wanted to make a couple of varieties of rooms. So some of the rooms are going to be like 1 bedroom, some of them are going to be 2 bedrooms with a common area. That was the idea. I wanted to have a little bit of variety in the room types, and I wanted to make the rooms smaller to make the furnishings of the room look like they make more sense. So the goal here is that, and I started off with a couple of studio apartment concepts. Well, to be honest, I started off with what sort of room do I want my sim to live in? So I started off with that. I started off with planning out what sort of room I wanted my sim to stay in, and then I was just like, okay, I guess I'll just copy paste that room a couple more times in order to fill out the space. That was the plan. All of the rooms here are going to have ensuite bathrooms, just a quick little like 2x2 box. Nothing special, nothing luxurious, but quite realistic. And I made all of the walls white and the floors were carpeted blue, which was exactly what it was like for dorms that I've stayed in. Just pretty much like there's no real character to it unless obviously a student has been living in there for a while. So you can see that I'm actually making the room sizes a bit smaller. And this is because I realized that the bathrooms that I made initially were too big. I think that they were initially 2x3, which was a little bit big for a single person studio apartment ensuite bathroom. I wanted to make those smaller. And gosh, you guys, common bathrooms though. I did have an experience because I've lived in 2 types of dorms, and in one of them they did have ensuite bathrooms, and in the other one that I've stayed in, we had common bathrooms. And what an experience! What an absolute experience! It's just, I don't know. I would always kind of want to make my time in the common bathrooms as short and quick as possible. I remember having this horror story of having to want to shower in the common showers in the morning, because I think I went to the gym in the morning, and then obviously go take a shower. I don't really trust gym showers that much, although I guess at the same time I don't really have any reason to trust common dorm bathrooms either. You can't trust anything. But anyway, I was trying to shower in the morning at one of the common showers in this dorm, and I guess the cleaning person didn't attend to the situation yet, but I went to the shower and there were bugs crawling everywhere. Like, they were crawling out of the sink, and they were just hanging out. They were having a good time. I, however, was not having a great time. In fact, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna give the cleaning lady a couple of hours. Maybe she'll pass by. I'm gonna go get breakfast. And I'm like, see you later. I'm gonna go. But yeah, ensuite bathrooms, you guys. I know that some people are like, oh, they don't really want to deal with ensuite bathrooms because it means you're gonna have to clean it yourself. Now, I don't mind, because I can control that. And if my ensuite bathroom gets dirty, then that's my problem, and I can fix that quickly on my own. I don't have to ask anybody to do it. You know, I don't have to be like, oh, why haven't you cleaned the bathroom yet? It's your duty. No, it's everything is my problem, and I can motivate myself to do it. So, you know, it's all about the control. But yeah, so the studio apartment, this single studio apartment is coming together, really loosely basing it off of the real life dorm that I've stayed in. It looks somewhat similar, but obviously it's not quite there, because I learned that in the Sims dorms, you cannot put a stovetop or oven in any part of the dorms at all. Not within the dorms, not outside of it, like in the outside area. You can't have a barbecue or grill either. I really wanted to put one outside of the apartment. Just I don't know, because you know, in Aussie culture, it's barbecues are kind of just a thing that you do, a thing that you share with your friends or whatever, but you can't do that in The Sims, which is unfortunate. And not only just for functionality, but it would have also been good to have an outdoor grill as at least decoration, at the very least. But no, I can't do that. So what I've had to deal with is just I put down a couple of countertops and cabinets, put in a sink, microwave, and mini fridge, and call it a day. Maybe there's a mod out there that'll allow uni dorms to have what are they called? That'll allow uni dorms to have those standard kitchen items, but alas, no. Not in this game. I did have one in real life. I did have a kitchenette, and to be honest, that was great. It forced me to learn how to cook. Well, not forced, that's not the word, but it encouraged me to cook for I guess the first time in my life, like I didn't have to cook before having to go to uni, but having the little kitchenette in my room, induction oven thing, it was great. It allowed me to experiment with cooking and everything, without having the judging eyes of family members watching you. If it tastes bad, it's on me. It's not on anybody else. It's just on me. So, you know, that was a good experience. But so at the moment, I've got a couple of studio apartments here right now, trying to figure out the curtains and blinds and stuff. I didn't have air conditioning in either of my... Oh wait, no, I did have air conditioning in one of the dorms that I stayed in. But in the first dorm that I stayed in, I didn't have air conditioning. I just had a ceiling fan. So luckily though, I didn't have to be in my dorms during the hot summer of Australia because I would go back home, so it wasn't really a problem for me. But yeah, just a ceiling fan, no AC. And yeah, I'm trying to figure out the commons area now here as well. In the dorms that I have stayed at, only one of them actually had a commons area. The other ones didn't. It was in a separate sort of... It was in an entirely separate building and not in the dorms apartments. So I had to kind of improvise on that end. And by the way, you guys, quick plug. If you haven't checked it out already, I have a schedule now in place for this channel. After having uploaded a couple of videos now, I think 5 or 6 videos, I think I figured out a schedule for myself. So my schedule, my upload schedule, I mean, is on Wednesdays and Sundays in the evening, probably around 6 or 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, AEST. So look forward to that. I decided to upload only twice a week. I actually was initially going to upload only once a week, but there was actually a part of me that was itching to make more videos. It was getting to the point where I would go to sleep at night and then I would spend like 10 or 20 minutes actually brainstorming in my head video ideas. So I was like, okay, maybe once a week is not enough. We're gonna go with twice a week. And I don't know how that's going to last in the future or how long that's gonna go, if I'm going to increase my upload schedule, because I do know that from now until the beginning of June, I will be quite busy, you know, with researching and thesis proposals and everything now. In fact, even now I'm quite busy. That's why I'm not doing a face cam for this video. That's the tea. Because having a face cam, you know, would mean a little bit longer exporting time, a little bit more effort in having to edit and everything. And I thought that since this is a speed build and since I'm not exactly reacting to anything, you don't really need my face here. So voiceover it is. I was also contemplating building this in real time, and not a speed build, very different, but I was just like, that's asking too much, I think. So here we are, trying out this format. I might try this again for future speed builds, because I am still considering doing a renovation of the Foxbury Commons, i.e. Larry's Lagoon, which I figured out was a reference to SpongeBob. Wow. I might be doing that, but I feel like if I spend too much time doing builds and renos and stuff, I'll never actually get around to playing with the Wheelspin LP. So I don't know how that'll go. I might just actually grab a renovation from the gallery, which is not a bad thing, you know. I don't have all the time in the world. So I have to do what I can, and the very least that I could do was build the dorms, and I think that it looks alright. As soon as I uploaded it last night, I've already got 4 downloads. Wow. So popular. By the way, follow me on the Sims gallery. My name is Ruse Renee. I don't know why it isn't Ruse Rain. Clearly, I had some sort of login problems when I was a wee little teenager, so now I have to deal with the consequences as an adult. I'm 22 years old. And yes, my profile picture is still anime. I don't know if I'm gonna get around to actually changing it eventually. I probably should, you know, so that I'm a little bit more recognizable on the gallery. But that's the situation at the moment, you know. But yeah, upload schedules twice a week, Wednesdays and Sundays, Australian Standard Time. Well, Sydney time, not, I mean, Australia's a pretty big country. You can't just be like, oh yeah, Australian time. We're in Australia. But yeah, there we go. I actually really enjoy this build quite a lot. It's just, it was a lot of clutter. I initially thought that I was going to make all of the rooms just standard and plain. Like everything would just be white furniture, white bedding, and all of that. But then at a certain point, I thought that it would be a lot more interesting to provide a little bit of character into the rooms, because sometimes you can just tell a story about a person, or in this case, tell a story about a sim by the dorm room that they are living in. So I think I'll go over this later when I show you guys the after screenshots. But while I was building this, I really truly did make up stories for potential sims that are living in here. With that said, I might actually go ahead and make some townies of my own that are Foxbury students living in this dorm. I might do that. Ooh, exciting. I'm gonna make up my own characters for this wheel spin LP, to provide a little bit of excitement for that LP. But yeah, I might be recording another video, and that video might be coming up on the Wednesday, so watch out for that. And yeah, where are we now in the build? Still doing a lot of furnishing for the bedrooms. I don't know why I didn't just copy and paste the rooms. That I guess I didn't realize that until like way later, which is unfortunate. I think I wasted quite a lot of time having to manually alt place all the furniture in all of the rooms, but what can we do? That's a lesson learned. But yeah, this big corner space that you're seeing now is going to house 2 rooms with their own little common area, which I kind of really liked, because it felt kind of cozy and boxy and cute, I guess. Also in the commons area, I don't know if that's passed by yet, but in the commons area, I did a cool little thing with the entrance. I made the shape of the entrance kind of cave into the room a little bit. I don't know, I thought it was cool. And I made the door of the commons room like fully windowed. I think that's actually a university door, so it all makes sense. But yeah, I made it that way, and so it's all windows, just for, you know, for safety reasons. You know, it should all be windows, right? But yeah, Wheelspin LP to come soon, hopefully, now that all of this is finished. But I don't know, I have been really busy for the past, I'm recording this on a Thursday, and for the past couple of days, my life has just been all about researching. I think I spend roughly, I guess, 8 hours a day just on my computer reading articles or searching articles. And my references to so far have amounted to a total of I think 70 sources. Not all like books or journal articles, obviously, but yeah, I have 70 sources so far. 70 plus, probably, most likely, because I did do a little bit of research today as well. But It's been a lot. My brain has been a little bit fried, and that's why I was like, okay, let me do something else. Let me do some sim stuff. The entire reason why I've started this YouTube Sims YouTube channel journey was because I wanted to do something that would get my mind off of my thesis project, and of course it's this, which is also a pretty stressful task on its own, because you guys, editing takes time, exporting takes time, recording takes time, and it's not exactly a stress-free hobby, I would say. Which is ironic because I'm playing a video game. It shouldn't be stressful, but it kind of is. So my days currently are just like 8 hours of research from the morning till the evening, and then I block out the evenings for like roughly 3 to 4 hours of Sims video stuff. So whether that be recording, building, or editing, or planning, you know, all of that. But I made it a rule for myself to only work on Sims videos in the evening, because as you might have seen in my very first video, I have a window of productivity, which is in the morning. That's when my brain is most likely to actually want to work on school stuff. But but I had this experience a couple of days ago when I was talking to these current PhD students, and I was just talking to them about their experience back when they were undergrad students, or back when they were doing this one-year thesis project that I'm on right now. And just having that chat with them, it almost made me want to change my topic, like which is a little bit dramatic, but okay, maybe change my topic is not the right way to frame it, but it inspired me to do even more research, but it also kind of made me panic a little bit, because it made me realize that, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff to do. And it was a little bit overwhelming, but I'm fine. I'm okay, I'm fine. I use these two productivity apps, which are honestly the things that keep me going. The two things that are keeping me sane, organized, and going on the day-to-day. One of them is called Forest, which is something that sort of times my activity, and then another one is Habitica, which is a way to sort of gamify my productivity. They're the best. And basically Forest times my productivity. It times my productivity. I don't know how else to describe it. But I looked over at my productivity hours in the last week, and it was like 50 hours, maybe 50 or 60 hours. I don't know if that's high or not. It sounds high to me, but that's 50 hours combined of doing research stuff and also doing sim stuff. Again, whether it's recording, editing, whatever. Well, that also includes like doing chores and stuff, because I include that as work. It is work. It's manual work, and it gets me tired, so I count it in as work, you guys. But yeah, I think we are approaching the end of this speed build, and I'm going to finally talk you guys through the imaginary Sims characters that I've made up for these builds, and going through the clutter and everything. So let's go. So starting off with a bit of an aerial view, you can see that the dorms are pretty boxy, which I think is quite a bit more realistic. You can see the rooms a lot more cramped and actually furnished instead of randomly open like it was previously. So I think it's a step up. But as for the exteriors, I couldn't actually change much of it. I changed the roofing a little bit. I put a glass roof, just because I figured it would make the build look a little bit more modern, and Foxbury is a bit more modern compared to Brightchester after all. Added a little bit more foliage as well on the outside, a couple of seating areas, and a little fountain centerpiece to look cute. And I think that the hallways of the dorms are looking pretty good as well. My aim of the game actually here was to put as many Foxberry themed decorations as possible. The couches were initially going to be red, but I kind of thought that that was like overkill. But I really love the anti-Brightchester, which is a rival university poster that's up on the wall. I was like, gosh, I have to put that up. And I just thought that it was really fun to put a lot of Foxberry spirit into the halls of the dorms. So like I said, I sort of themed some of the rooms. So the first one that you're seeing here right now is a studio apartment that's furnished with sort of light pastel colors, primarily pink. And for this, I imagine that there would be, I guess, a foreign exchange student or maybe an international student who's living here and probably feeling a little bit lonely or out of place. And so she's got a lot of these cute little characters and stuffed animals that are out in her room. And she's got this bowl of fruit, which I imagine was that her parents probably gave to her, you know, as a little gift for when she's going off on exchange. For this next room, you can tell immediately that it's a lot bigger than the studio apartments, in that it's got its own dining table. And for this one, I imagine that there would be, I guess, a postgraduate student, somebody with probably a little bit more money to spend on a bigger, more spacious room. And for this, you can see that there's a lot of decor on the wall that's like a bunch of animals. So I imagine that this would be a postgraduate vet science student. Alright, so this next concept was a really fun one for me. So basically, it's a studio apartment that houses two people. So it's split into two, separated by this kind of greasy looking screen. But on one side of the room, I imagine there's this really preppy, popular, cute kind of university school girl. So obviously you can see from the decorations that it's all kind of cute. There's a lot of fairy lights and decorations among that sort, pictures of her friends and everything. And then you go to the other side of the room and there's like, I imagine it's another girl who's really emo or gothic, and so everything is black and super plain, nothing is decorated. It's kind of a trope, but I think that it's really cute and funny. So you can see from here that they are separated by this screen thing, although the gothic person kind of has the pantry to herself in a way, so good for her. I also really like the way that the sunlight kind of shone on the pantry here. I don't know, it's kind of an aesthetic. So this next concept is a little bit different in that the two bedrooms that are here are actually separated from the living area by actual walls. So that's different. But this living area, as you can see here, it's got a TV, a couch, a couple of plants, and the usual pantry area set up with a mini fridge, a sink, and a microwave. And for this first room that you guys can see here, everything is green, but most importantly, you can see that there's a bunch of awards sitting around on this person's dresser. I imagine that this person is probably going to Foxberry on a scholarship, and they've had a lot of achievements back in high school. I think maybe they're a first year, but they're super high achieving. They're really hardworking. And then right next to this person, I imagine that this guy is like a super gamer boy. So you can see he's got a lot of posters up on the wall of, I guess, just random geeky things. And he's got his own cool gaming laptop. Which in The Sims, those are actually really expensive. They're one of the most expensive computers, so, you know, go him. So for this next room, we go back to the usual studio apartment type of room. This person's favorite color is obviously red. But the interesting part about this person's room is that I imagine that they're a musician. And so they've got a keyboard here and a violin that I imagine that they've brought from home. And a bunch of paintings of, I guess, you know, their idols up on the wall. And finally, we've got my room. And how can you tell that it's my room? Because it's got purple in it. It's got purple in it, and it's also got some coffee stuff in the pantry area. As you can see, there's a coffee mug rack there. I don't have that in real life, but I do have a bunch of coffee mugs that I've collected over the years. And there's also a kettle, fancy looking kettle there, and a French press. So that's very me. And in this study desk, I've put a cute little figurine of this cat that looks a lot like the cat that I have in real life, and his name is Charlie. You should go follow him on Facebook and make my cat a celebrity. Please and thank you. Well, that sums up my Tidal Tower reno here today, you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I certainly had a lot of fun. And as always, you can find this build on the gallery. Follow me at Ruse Renee. And don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. And thanks you guys again for sticking with me. Facecam back soon for next video, which will hopefully be a wheel spin LP ? So look forward to that. Again, schedule now is Wednesdays and Sundays, AEST. Look forward to it. Get hyped. Alright, you guys, thanks so much for watching, and see you guys in the next video. Bye!